the overall aim of the project is to tackle the different types of inequalities that create barriers for women of colour to access and successfully participate in postgraduate research. So this project is led by the University of Leeds and will run from 2022 to 2026. So we started in January this year and will continue until January 2026. And it's a multi-university project. So there are 5, excuse me, other universities. So we've got Goldsmiths, represented by Fazana Shane, Plymouth, represented by Xiaofeng Liu, Reading, represented by Uma Kampambati, Sheffield by Amaka Ofia, who isn't with us unfortunately today, and Sunderland, who is the project partner, represented by Donna Chambers, who has now moved to Northumbria. And I should say that even though Leeds is represented on this project, I've now moved to University of Oxford. So here you can see who we all are. In addition to the co-Is, we do have 2 amazing additional people working with us. The first is Dr. Monica Bernal-Llanos, who has been doing all of the amazing technical work for us the last 2 days, and also Dr. Suko Queenie Eng, who is our project manager and has also been doing a lot of the work behind the scenes to make these events possible. So huge thanks to both of those. I don't know if we want to stop for a second here to give all of the co-Is a chance to introduce yourselves. Donna, why don't you go first? Just say hello and say a few words.
Okay, hi everybody. It's lovely to see you, well, to know that you're all here today. So my name is Donna Chambers and I'm a professor of creative and cultural industries. I actually started the project at Sunderland, which I've been at for 9 years. I only recently moved to Northumbria University, but I'm still working on the project representing Sunderland University. So my research areas are around how we actually represent people and places through cultural and heritage tourism using decolonial and post-colonial methodologies. So that's just a brief overview of myself. I've been working on EDI projects for several years, and I've also been the Equalities Officer for the University and College Union. So that's just a brief overview of who I am. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on my screen is Uma.
Hi, everybody. This is Uma Kampampati. I'm a professor of economics at the University of Reading. I'm also the head of a school there, which is the School of Politics, Economics, and International Relations. I'm a development economist by research and have worked quite a lot on intra-household inequalities. Other than that, I'm on the University Diversity and Inclusion Advisory Board and one of the co-Is on this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Uma. Xiaofeng is also unfortunately not here today. Fazana?
Hi, I'm Fazana Shane. I'm work at Goldsmiths and the co-I from there. My title is George Wood Professor in Education. I'm also the head of the Educational Studies Department here at Goldsmiths. I'm a sociologist by background, and my research is in educational inequalities.
Thank you. And I should probably just say a few words about myself. I realized I didn't do this yesterday. So I am the Jacques Delors Professor of European Union Law at the University of Oxford, associated to Somerville College. I was previously a Professor of European Law and Social Justice at the University of Leeds, and I was also the Dean for Equality, Diversity and Inclusion there. My research is in discrimination law predominantly, race discrimination, intersectional discrimination, and weight discrimination more recently. And I also look at things like judicial diversity and decolonizing European Union law. So that's all of us who are here right now. Monica, do you want to say a quick hello as well? I can't see you on my screen now. Monica?
Hello. Yes, I'm Monica. I finished my PhD last year from UCL. I've been working with Professor Iyiola Solanke in various projects, and I'm looking forward as also a being female academic to be here, be part of this project.
Thank you, Monica. And Queenie, if your microphone is still working.
It is. Good morning, everybody. I'm so pleased to see everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm the project manager for Gen Delta, and I'm a nurse by profession. I'm a qualitative researcher, and I want this project to be very successful. So all the participants, please spread the word. We want to see more of you. Okay.
Thank you. Exactly. So moving on, thank you all for presenting yourselves. Just to give you a bit of the context for the development of our particular project. So as I said, we were all very aware of the underrepresentation of Black, Asian and minority ethnic women at the PGR level. And also the underrepresentation of these women in the academy, within faculty, and especially at the higher levels, in relation to both the academic work and also professional services. So we all came together we all first became aware of each other, I think, in 2017, when I created the Black Female Professors Forum. And I really created that just as a response to the invisibility of us as Black women professors, and also to highlight the low numbers of Black women professors, but also to create visibility so that we could feel supported by each other and knowing that we weren't just the only one out there, but also so that students could see that there were actually women who looked like them in this country who were professors. Then in 2019, Leading Roots produced the Broken Pipeline report, which created qualitative and quantitative data showing the underrepresentation of Black students at PGR levels, despite the quite intensive work that all institutions had been undertaken to widen participation over the past few decades. But what that showed is that that's actually a revolving door. So the increase in representation at the undergraduate level disappears upon graduation. Those students are not continuing into postgraduate taught programs, master's programs, and also not into postgraduate research study. More recently, Advanced HE have produced us with percentages that women from Black, Asian, minority ethnic backgrounds account for just 2.3% of all UK professors, and of that, less than 1% are of African or Caribbean heritage. So it's clear that this is a kind of pipeline problem that needs a systematic and systemic response. So we designed our project with the help of students that we brought together in focus groups in 2020 and 2021. And the key aspects of the feedback that they gave us was that they wanted help in certain areas. And one of the key areas was just to understand the system in the UK and the institutions of higher education, because that was a significant barrier to them progressing. They just didn't know how the system worked and how to navigate the systems. Another key point was the need for mentoring and the creation of a safe space in which to share concerns and in which to grow, essentially. There was, they all expressed interest in mental well-being and stress workshops. And in terms of the delivery of our events, they all said that because of additional responsibilities, whether that be caring responsibilities or other things, one-day events, which were either on a hybrid or in person, would be the preferred mode of delivery. So taking all of that into consideration and the context that I mentioned, we designed this, this project, which we didn't want to adopt the deficit model. So we didn't just want to focus on challenges that individuals were facing, but we also wanted to think about the institutional challenges so that institutions could also learn how they might be able to change their structures and processes in order to remove some of the barriers that individuals were facing. But at the same time, we wanted to be able to provide up and coming academics with the benefit of our experience. So we've designed this project to address institutional and individual barriers that impact Black, Asian and minority ethnic women at 3 specific stages of the PGR life cycle. First of all, admissions, so access to PGR study. Then second of all, retention and progression within the degree program, so at the upgrade level or the interim exam level or the final viva. And then finally, career development and progression, because that transition from the PhD to the first academic post can also be very difficult and traumatic, and that's where actually many BAME women actually leave academia. Now, we realized that this is a long-term problem that has been many decades in the making, so we decided to be quite modest in our overall objective. And what we really want to do is to lay the foundations. So we want to set out the building blocks for a long-term increase in the number of Black, Asian and minority ethnic women who gain professorships in higher education in England. So it's a long-term project, and we hope that the work that we do over the next 4 years can be built upon by others in the period thereafter. So these are our 5 key objectives. And we're very much, this is a project that's very much focused on practical outcomes. So as I mentioned, we'll work with the institutions to design and deliver training and strategic advice to help them embed more equitable practices into the PGR life cycle. And then we want to pilot contextual offers and the use of contextualized admissions for BAME women PGR students. In relation to the supporting women themselves, we want to work with them to design and deliver workshops which will support and engage them so that they can and help them to successfully access and participate in PGR study and a career in academia. And then we're going to create a network of support that will be led by and for the students, that will be modeled to some extent on the Black Female Professors Forum, but independent of it. And then we want to, in order to, as I said, create a long-term legacy, we're going to monitor and evaluate the interventions that we are designing so that we can try to work out over time what works. And we can then, that will then be another source of information for others to use in the future. So our 3 work streams, as I mentioned, are the programme of training for staff in institutions, the programme of workshops for students, and then the creation of the BAME PGR Women Student Network. In terms of our governance structure, we are helped by an advisory board of independent individuals, most of whom come from academia or the NGO sector. So that's our external advisory board. But then within our own institutions, we have steering groups which help us with all of our activities, they helped us, for example, with our survey, which you'll hear more about shortly. They help us with designing the workshops, with delivering training, with working with mentors and such things, helping us with communications and helping us with outreach, because as Queenie said, it's so important for this work to reach those who are going to benefit from it. And in order to get the word out there, we need all of your help. So please do spread the word far and wide. The deliverables that we hope we will reach by the end of the 4 years are both tangible and intangible. And I think perhaps the intangibles are more important than the tangibles, or at least as important. So first of all, we want to build confidence. We want to ensure that BAME women who are either on PGR programs or preparing to start PGR programs, or even are just undergraduates and thinking in a few years ahead to join in a PGR program, that they have the resilience required to get through the program, because it is a challenge undertaking a PhD, and there will be difficult moments, but they can be overcome. So developing the resilience to face those moments is important, and learning about coping mechanisms is important. We also want to develop the ability to navigate the academic career pathway, because there are all kinds of vagaries and all different places, different routes in the academic career pathways, and we would just want to ensure that PGR students are aware of the different ways in which you can design your academic career. And then we want to design a program for high quality mentoring. So those are the intangibles. In relation to the tangibles, we've designed an annual survey which will give us a baseline upon which to assess and evaluate the impact of our interventions. We'll create these workshops, this being the first one, and these workshops we hope will enable us to develop a more informed understanding of the challenges and the constraints, and therefore design more effective strategies to remove the institutional blockages. There'll be some documentation, produce 3 interim reports and 1 final report, a bank of online training materials, so everything will be available on our website, and then the BAME PGR network for women. In relation to this network, just a few words. We want it to really operate as a safe space. It will be led by students. We have 2 of the leaders here this morning. I'm not sure if any others have joined so far. The network will meet regularly, and that will enable some kind of peer mentoring, and that will be also a mechanism to developing the resilience and the coping strategies that I mentioned earlier. As I said, it will be student-led, so there'll be 2 Generation Delta champions in each of the participating universities who will participate and lead the network over the next 4 years. And we will link all of these Generation Delta champions and their networks together to create what we hope a matrix of networks across England, sharing good experience, good practice, and also job opportunities. So that's my last slide. That's all I wanted to say. Again, thank you very much for your interest. Thank you for coming along this morning. We really hope that you get something from today. We look forward to your feedback, because that, as I said, is as important to us as what we're delivering. We really want to know what is working and what is helping, and what you think is needed, because that's the information we'll then pass on to the institutions when we have the workshop with them tomorrow. And if you have any questions, then please share them now, and I'll be happy to try to help them, or if I can't answer them, then maybe somebody else in the team can. But thank you for now. That's it from me.